If you haven't already heard, Christian Bale has said in a recent interview that he is open to playing the Caped Crusader again in the future if Christopher Nolan is the one at the helm. This got me thinking, if it were to happen, how on earth would they do it? Let's get into it. So for an entire generation, Christian Bale is the definitive Batman. He of course starred in Batman Begins in 2005 and then followed that up in 2008 with The Dark Knight, one of the most critically acclaimed superhero movies, and just movies in general, of all time. He then finally closed out with The Dark Knight Rises in 2012. The trilogy was extremely successful, bringing in roughly $2.4 billion at the box office. Now, these films were obviously directed by Christopher Nolan, and while both Nolan and Bale have said in the past that they were only ever going to make 3, Bale has now said in a recent interview that he would be open to returning if Chris was involved. He said in the interview, and I quote, "For me, that would be a matter of Chris Nolan. If he ever decided to do it again, and if he chose to come my way again, then yeah, I would consider it, because that was always our pact between each other, is we would just stick to it. We said we would only ever make 3, and then I said to myself I'd only ever make it with Chris." This is genuinely not something I ever thought would be possible myself, but with everything that's gone on with superhero and sci-fi content this past year, it really wouldn't surprise me. We've seen Michael Keaton return to the role of Batman, which he first took on in 1989. We've seen Tobey Maguire, Andrew Garfield, and Tom Holland all playing Spider-Man in one movie. And then most recently, of course, we have Ewan McGregor and Hayden Christensen returning as Obi-Wan Kenobi and Darth Vader. It's been a pretty crazy year, so a Batman Far From Home type movie doesn't really seem too far-fetched anymore. So let's say this becomes a reality. How would and could it be done? Would we just get the return of The Dark Knight or something like that, a 4th part to the Nolan verse? Or would he be brought into the DCEU or even the Matt Reeves universe? Let's not forget, if Bale came back, we would technically have 4 active Batmen: Pattinson, Keaton, Ben Affleck, and of course Christian Bale. Let's not forget that Affleck is returning alongside Keaton in the upcoming Flash movie, if that ever sees the light of day. I believe that the Robert Pattinson Batman will probably be kept completely separate, which personally I think is the right choice. It should exist in its own universe and shouldn't be mixed in with other Batmen from other realities and multiverses and things like that. Keep it to its own realistic self. What I can see happening, however, is some crazy timeline stuff with The Flash, which could also be a good opportunity to replace Ezra Miller as The Flash, because let's be honest, the guy is an asshole and does not deserve to play such a fantastic character. We know that The Flash will be making some timeline changes in the upcoming film, meaning Keaton Bats and Batfleck are likely to come face to face. So multi-universe interaction is definitely possible now within the DCEU. What if one of these Batmen die? My bet would be on Batfleck, as he has stated that he does not want to return again. So the Flash decides he needs another Batman to help, does some crazy speed time stuff to cross into another reality, and finds Bale's Batman, along with perhaps a different Flash that exists within that universe, one that we've just never heard about before. Then, whatever happens story-wise could lead to a new Flash being in place for the DCEU. I don't care what anyone else thinks, but Miller needs to go. I almost don't want to watch the Flash movie purely because of him. But on the other hand, it does also have Michael Keaton and Ben Affleck Batman in it, so I'm probably going to have to watch it. Either way, I'm sort of spitballing ideas now on just how they could bring Bale back. This would obviously have to be some kind of sequel to The Flash, or maybe a sequel to the Justice League. A Snyder-Nolan collaboration. Nolan storytelling with Snyder's visuals. Yes please. They certainly have a sort of working relationship already, as Nolan was involved with Man of Steel as some sort of producer. Anyway, I'm just dreaming now. I mainly wanted to do this video to start a discussion in the comments on the best way to bring Bale back into the mix again. Would you want to see a part 4 to the Nolanverse? Or would you like to see him brought into the DCEU and interacting with other Batmen? Let's chat in the comments. Before I go guys, I very quickly want to shout out the Tabletop Alliance. If you're into tabletop gaming or even 3D printing, then you'll hopefully be interested in checking out our Patreon or web store. By signing up to our Patreon, you get access to monthly releases for a discounted price. We have lots of tiers depending on what you're interested in. We have fantasy options, sci-fi options, or an option for both. You can also choose between receiving your monthly deliveries as physical, resin miniatures, or if you would rather print them yourselves, you can opt to have them as digital STL files for a lower cost. We are honestly so proud of our custom characters, and we think you guys will absolutely love them. They will fit in perfectly with whatever tabletop game you are playing, whether it be proxies for Middle-earth or Warhammer, or even a Dungeons & Dragons campaign. Or maybe you're just looking for something new to paint. There is a ton of variety to choose from. If Patreon isn't for you, you can also purchase models individually through our web store, thetabletopalliance.co.uk, again available in physical or digital forms. Also, if you guys buy anything, paint it and send us a photo, we will send you a 50% off discount code for your next purchase. Anyway, that's it from me today, my friends. Thank you all so much for watching. I hope you have a great day. Don't forget to like and subscribe and return to the Batcave for more Bat content.